yesterday. We can talk about that later. Hello to my friends. Whoops. Hello to the dandelions. Hello to the dandelions. It's good to be here with you. Let's say hello to since we're wearing uniforms today, let's say hello to the firefighters in our community. We really appreciate them. I saw some firefighters yesterday. Thankfully, everything was safe. They just had to go to a house that I was walking by on my walk that had a little fire problem. But let's say thanks to the firefighters. Hello to the firefighters. Hello to the firefighters. Hello to the firefighters. It's good you're here with us. Let's say hello to the police officers. 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 We're glad you're here with us. Let's say hello to the grocery store clerks. They're working really hard right now. Hello to the grocery store clerks. Hello to the grocery store clerks. Hello to the grocery store clerks. We're glad you're here for us. Let's say hello to the doctors and nurses out there that are working hard to make sure that we're well. Hello to the doctors and nurses. Hello to the doctors and nurses. Hello to the doctors and nurses. We're glad you're here for us. How many of you guys have teachers that are helping teach you online now? Yeah, instead of just in person. That's pretty tricky. Let's say hello and thank you to our teachers. Hello to our teachers. Hello and thank you to our teachers. Hello to our teachers. We're glad you're here for us. Who else do you want to thank right now that's here for you? I'll leave a pause in the song and you guys can thank them. Got it? All right, I'll leave a pause. Here we go. Hello to. Hello to. Hello to. We thank you and we're glad you're here for us. Let's just say hello. Well, let's say hello to our friends. Because those are great, important things, including ourselves and our families. Hello to my friends. Hello to my friends. Hello to my friends. I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad you're here with me. Yay, good morning, friends. I changed that song a little bit today because I just wanted to say, since we're dressed in uniforms this week, maybe we could be thanking those people who wear their uniforms and do their services for us. So thank you, folks. All right, let's do our Days of the Week song. Days of the Week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the Week. 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 Woo! Today, ba ba ba. There's a number 2 and a number 9. 29th. Today is Wednesday, April 29th. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Tuesday, April 28th. Today is Wednesday, April 29th. And tomorrow, today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday, April 30th. Wow! Tomorrow will already be at the end of April. So many things to talk about with that. But today is Wednesday, April 29th. In terms of tomorrow being the end of April, we could probably talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, but a few things. One, if you want to make your May calendars are going to start on Friday for number 1. And so when you make your May calendars, I made this calendar, so all I have to do is take off the numbers, and then I can keep the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you make a different one, that's fine, but one idea is to make sure, I think I said this in the beginning of April, but just to give you guys a heads up, each day of the week's a different color, so that kids can have an easier time remembering it. Sunday I have is red, Monday I have is orange, Tuesday I have is yellow, Wednesday I have is green, Thursday I have is blue, Friday I have is indigo, Saturday I have is violet. That's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv. Have you guys heard of Roy G. Biv? Oh, there's a fun song, I think from the They Might Be Giants. They have a kid song of Roy G. Biv. You should listen to it, it's very fun. So I did that to help make the days of the week a little bit more distinguishable. Also, I take off these numbers. See, these numbers are just taped on, so I can use the same calendar for May. I'll just change April to May with the letter M. Speaking of letters, oh my goodness, today is Wednesday. Ah, I don't have my sticks here. Guess that means we'll have to make it with our bodies. Okay, ta-da! Down, up, down, up. I made a letter W for Wednesday. Let's see if there's something else I could do for Wednesday. W's go, I have to think a little bit. Aha, like that. Down, up, down. That's trickier to do. I may have to think about that one. Okay, wait. Ta-da! Down, up, Wednesday. W. W is for Wednesday. W is for why. First of all, why am I dressed like this? Well, because it's uniform week. And guess what? This may seem silly because it was a long time ago, longer than you guys are old, before you were born. This is what I used to wear to high school. This was my uniform in high school. Yeah, amazing it still fits. No idea how. But, well, actually I do. Usually when you get older, you don't grow all that much bigger and taller. A little bit around the tummy sometimes, because you're eating good, healthy food. But you know, anyway, it still fits me. So this is my high school uniform. So I thought I'd wear it for you. Yeah. Oh, and also, just for fun, I have my Hogwarts socks on. Do you guys know Harry Potter? The books? If you don't, that's okay. Or the movies. The movies are a little bit older. They're a little bit scarier, so older kids. But anyway, I have my Hogwarts socks on because that's the school that they went to, and that was their school uniform, so I thought that would be fun. So yeah, I'm wearing my uniform today. What uniforms are you guys wearing today? Yeah, lots of different uniforms, huh? Firefighters, police officers, bakers, a chef, you have a chef hat. You can have an apron, that's kind of like a uniform you wear when you're cooking. Speaking of cooking, I made dandelion fritters the other day. Have you guys ever made dandelion fritters? Oh, we have to talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow because we have so much stuff to talk about today. Tomorrow, we'll talk about dandelion fritters. So much fun. Okay, today is Wednesday. Why? Let's start off the day. We're going to do some learning today and stretch our brains and answer a lot of why questions. So let's start off the day with a little bit of a brain dance. Because, whoo-wee, our bodies. I'm going to tilt this back or down a little bit. Let's see, right to there. You hear the nice nature sounds I have playing? I'm going to do the brain dance on the ground today. Because some of you that are watching this video can't stand up very well and move around all that much. And I want you guys to know that you can do the brain dance on the ground too. So we will start on our backs and do our breath. You can just breathe with your hands on the ground. Big breaths like you're blowing bubbles. Nice, and then we'll do our tactile. Where we touch our head, we can tap, we can stroke, we can brush, we can squeeze. And if we can't move, our adults can do tactile for us, or caregivers. If we can move, we can do it ourselves. Make sure everything's woken up, even those pinky toes, those baby toes. Okay, we did breath and tactile. Now we're going to do core distal. One way to do core distal is to have a little ball, stretch it out. Just so you know, I have shorts on. I always wear shorts under my skirt because I just like it that way. Some people do, some people don't. So, little ball, stretch it out. Or you can go to the side and do little ball, stretch it out. Little ball, stretch it out. Nice. Now we'll do our head tail. You can come up to your hands and knees if you're strong enough. But if you are not strong enough to use your arms and legs to come up to your hands and your knees, the adults can help you wiggle your head to your tail to one side and move your head and tail to the other side. The adults can actually pick up your legs and shift your hips. That's something you can do as someone who can't move very well on their own. But for those of us who can, we can wiggle our booties and our heads from one side to the other side. Nice. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. The other thing you can do if you're strong enough is you can roll over and onto your tummy and move your head tail this way. There you go. Now, we can still do top, bottom, right side, left side on the ground. If you're strong enough to be on the tummy, you can be on your tummy and just keep your top of your body still, like rest your head on your hands and move your legs. Slide, swing, swing. If you're not, you can get on your back. That's why I wore my skirt today. We're going to do lots of movements. That's why I wore my shorts underneath here. Okay, so I can lay on my back and I can just move my legs. And adults, if you have a girl or a boy or a non-gendered or a gender-neutral person who can't move their own body, you can move their legs for them. And see if they can try to do some of it on their own. Kick, 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 or swing and swing. You can even prop their legs up and slowly start to dip it to one side, and then their body will move their legs by themselves. Okay, for those of us who can move, let's move those legs. Okay, plant their legs. Let's move our upper bodies now. Move our hands and our head. Make sure our legs stay still. If they're not strong enough to keep their legs up in this position, you can hold them up or they can just flop back down. And while you help them move their upper body, you can pick up their arm and see if they can hold it a little bit, or you can just wiggle it around like this. All right, right side, left side. Tank side. Whoa, you're wiggling too close to me. You want to come back, buddy? Sorry, I won't be so close. You want to stay here? You want cuddles? Okay. So right side, left side, if you can just get on one side, ta-da, ta-da, and move this way, and that, and this way, and that. And if a person can't hold themselves up, same thing. Lay back on the ground and just move one of their sides. That's fine. For those of us who can move, let's switch to the other side. Right side. Move one side, the other side stays still. Flap it. Nice. We did. Okay. Now it's time to cross lateral. Same thing. If the person cannot hold their own body up or even move their own body, you do it for them. Try to have their arm and their leg together. You can hold their leg in this position by like your chest being here, and you can just reach for their arm and just do this. And that's good enough. That's enough of a cross lateral. If they can't move, then you guys can do this. If you guys do this, can you touch your toes to your fingers? Whoa. Whew. Opposite side. Left foot, right hand, crisscross your body. Do the other side. Do your knees. Can you do your toes? Whoa. Some of us can and some of us can't, and that's okay. Nice. And then the spinning part can be done on the ground. It's a little harder, but if you guys like this, I don't know if any of you know how to do this. Have you ever rolled down the hill before? Roly-poly, 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 roly-poly. The vestibular part, we're roly-polying. Or you can just spin like this on the ground if you know how. Ta-da! And that's our brain dance, especially for those who need a little extra help. Tank is very excited. When I get on the ground, he thinks it's time to play. Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah, you want to play. I'm going to go grab him a toy. I'll be right back. You listen to the music. Here you go, Tank. Here's your baby. Oh, yeah, you're excited. Tank really likes to play. Do you guys like to play too? Well, I'm glad we did our brain dance. You know what we're going to do right now? We are going to go get some scarves. Okay, he got his toy, and I'm going to get my scarf. You can still listen to the nature sounds when we do this. It's probably a good idea. Okay. Everyone have a scarf or a little kind of a floaty blanket sort of thing? I don't have like one of those really floaty scarves, but I have these scarves that like sometimes parents wear around their necks. You can even use winter scarves. It's helpful if they're a little floaty. Whee! So they float like that. All right. You can even get a long blanket if you don't have a scarf. This is kind of a longer blanket. But the longer it is, the harder it is to move with it. See? Whee! All right. Ta-da! We're going to do our ABCs with our scarf to help warm up our brain to answer our questions of why. Let's make an A. A, B, C, D, E. That was fun. F, G, drop my scarf. I'm going to fold it in half so I don't scare Tank. H, down, down, and across. I, down, bottom, top. J, down, and a loop. K, down, and out. L, down and over. M, up, down, in, up, down, up. O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. We just danced our ABCs. Grab a scarf and dance with me. Yay! That's one way of doing our ABCs. That was a fun one, huh? Hope you guys had fun with the scarves. We're going to do the scarves later today, too. But right now, we're going to answer some why questions. Bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, ba, bum, bum. Bum, ba, ba, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my goodness, this is such a big page. You're going to be so excited. Okay, here's the first one. Forgot I have my, oopsie, a chair next to me for a later project we're going to do. All right, let's zoom in on this fly, baby. You need to be able to see the fly. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. I set up a slide and, all right, here we go. Why do flies like stinky stuff? The smells that are a warning of putrefaction, that means stuff that's breaking down and rotting, to us are attracted to flies for the same reason. When organic matter, which is stuff from an animal or vegetable, starts to rot, it becomes soft and moist, that's kind of wet, and provides ideal breeding conditions for fly larvae, meaning that's where flies can lay their eggs. Female flies are attracted to the rotting material where they lay their eggs in batches. Oh my goodness, they lay 50 to 100 eggs in the case of a housefly. The eggs can hatch within 12 hours, the same day, between like breakfast and dinner. And the larva, that's like the little guys that come back out of the egg, burrow into the soft material, gross, and they feed for several days before they turn into pupa. Ah! You all fell over! Oh my goodness, are you okay? Phew! There we go. And then, so it goes from an egg to a larva to a pupa, then to an adult fly. And it can take as little as 10 days from egg to adult. So that is why these flies like stinky stuff, because that's where they lay their eggs and turn into big flies. All right, I'm going to do an experiment here with you guys. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. I'm going to stand up, hold this up so you can see me. Perfect. All right, where are my pencils? Where are my pencils? Oh, I don't have pencils, but I got these.
Da 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 dun dun dun.
Perfect. Now, we're going to do an experiment about our vision here. Now, open your eyes, take a pencil or a marker in one hand and a pencil or marker in the other, and see if you can touch the tips together. Ta-da! Not too hard, right? Ta-da! 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 I got that. But here's the tricky part. Close one eye. Oh, I missed. Whew, I got it that time. And close your other eye. Close one other eye. Whoa, I really missed on that one. Oh my goodness, I missed again. You guys try it at home. I'm not joking. It's harder to understand proprioception with just one eye. We'll do some more experiments with that in just a minute. Let me see our question of the day.
Bum ba bum bum ba bum bum bum. Why do we have two eyes, but we only see one thing at a time? It's a very interesting question, and we are going to learn the answer. See, that person is trying to touch things with their finger. We're going to do that later. There's a science about depth perception. Humans have two eyes, but despite having binocular, that means two-eyed vision, we see only one image, right? Like you only see one doggy of mine. You ready? I'm gonna move this way. You only see one of my doggies, right? You don't see two of them. Just see one of them. He's chewing on his toy. Yeah, same here. I only see one too. One as well. But that is thanks to our brains. Our brains work really hard to make sense of the input coming in through both of our eyes. Because human eyes are close together on the front of our heads, both of our eyes see pretty much the same thing at the same time. As such, both eyes send very similar, but not identical, pictures to the brain, and the brain processes it and tells us what it is. You know, like dog, cat, fingers, words. Because each eye sends a slightly different image to the brain is able to use the two slight differences between the two images to calculate the distance between two or more of the things. That is called depth perception, and it's defined as the ability to perceive the relative distance of objects in the visual field. A significant advantage of our binocular vision is good depth perception. Because humans, historically, we had to hunt for our food. It was important for us to know exactly how far away our food is. But get ready for this. Frogs, everyone hop like a frog. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Yep. Chickens, everyone walk around like a chicken. Bok, 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 bok. Rabbits, hop, 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 hop like a rabbit. And horses, everyone gallop like a horse. They all have eyes on the sides of their heads. These animals lack the quality of depth perception that we humans have. Animals with eyes on the sides of their heads, however, have a larger field of vision, which means they can see more of the surrounding at the same time. They can't really see behind them, but they can see pretty close to that. And that helps them detect predators coming to eat them so they can see it and run away, which is an important survival mechanism. All right, we're gonna do an experiment now. I'm gonna bring over a chair. And I want you guys to do this at home too if you can. Woo! Dun, 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 dun. Here is my chair. I'm going to put certain objects here. I have my lavender. I have my toothpicks. I have a toilet paper roll. I have my Jinwan Hong, which is a burn spray. I have my honey. And I have my shaker. Now, you guys get some things. If you have markers like fat Crayola markers or something, perfect. Stand them up in a chair, or if you have blocks and something. Now, I want you with your eyes, both eyes open, to reach out and touch one of them. Ta-da! Touch something else. Ta-da! Nice. Touch something else. Ta-da! What's really great, parents, is if you are sitting in the room, you can direct them to touch something. Or siblings, if you can take turns and say, Aslan, touch the lavender. And he goes, boop. And then the next sibling can be like, hey, Tommy, touch the honey. And he goes, boop, like that. All right, now here's the tricky one. You ready? Close one eye. And I'm going to say, Aslan, touch the lavender. What? Notice how much harder it is. I'm not joking. Let's do the other sibling. Let's see if the next sibling, you tell them what to touch. You can maybe say, touch the block or touch the honey. Remember, just one eye closed. There you go. It's a lot harder to touch things with just one eye closed. Don't believe me? Try it at home. I bet you'll see and you'll go, whoa. Kade or Miss Alea was not joking on that one. It was tricksy. All right, I'm going to set this back up because we are going to learn a little bit about the eye as to why that was tricksy. Dun, dun, dun. Recognize this picture? Kind of cool looking, huh? This is the parts of this. Here, I'm going to zoom it up so you can see it. These are the parts of the eye. So, I'm going to bring it down just for a second. You can check out different parts of the eye by looking at your own eye in the mirror, or you can look but not touch a friend's eye, or your caregiver's eye, or your parent's eye. Some of the eye parts are easy to see, so most people will say okay. But some people will not say okay. And that's okay too. Okay, here's the basics of the eye. Out in the front here, we have the cornea. Then we have the aqueous humor. At the very front, we have the conjunctiva, then the cornea, then the aqueous humor, then the iris and the lens. This is the ciliary body. We'll talk more about each of these. You got the sclera, the choroid, the retina, and the optic nerve, and the macula way back here in the blood vessels. Now, I'll tell you more about it, and we'll go back and look at it. Big as a ping pong ball. How many of you guys have seen a ping pong ball? The eye is about as big as a ping pong ball, and it sits in a little hollow area, which we call the eye socket in the skull. The eyelid protects that front part of the eye. The lid helps keep the eye clean and moist, means kind of wet with your tears, by opening and shutting several times a minute. This is called blinking. You guys blink your eyes now. Blink, 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 blink. Yeah. So that means it's voluntary. Some of it is voluntary. Blink, 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 which means you can do it on your own. But it's also involuntary, which means sometimes it just happens without you even thinking about it, which we need to be able to protect this part of the eye. The eyelid also has great reflexes, which are automatic body responses that protect the eye. When you step into a bright light, now you never want to look into a bright light. But for example, if the light were to shine near your eyes, like not facing your eyes, but close by, you would see something very interesting. You can do an experiment with this with turning the lights off in a dark room and then turning the lights on and observing your friend's eye. Let me see what it says. The eyelids, when we're in a bright light, the eyelids squeeze together tightly to protect your eyes until they can adjust to the light. And you can watch your pupil getting larger and smaller. And if you flutter your fingers close, but not too close to your friend's eyes, you can see your friend's eyes blink. It's just our natural reflexes to protect our eye. It automatically blinks and shuts to protect the eye from possible danger. And speaking of fluttering, don't forget eyelashes. Those eyelashes work with the eyelids to keep dirt and other unwanted stuff out of your eyes. Oh, I keep throwing things down on you guys. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I'll just do this part. Here we go. We're going to go back because I want to show you the picture here. The white part of your eye is called the sclera. See, do we have it written? Yes. See this word down there, sclera? Boop, boop. Begins with an S, sclera. That's the white part of your eye. The white part of your eye there is called the sclera. The sclera is made of a tough material and has the important job of covering most of the eyeball. Think of the sclera as your eyeball's outer coat. Look very closely at the white of your eye, though, or at your friend's eye right now, and you can see little tiny lines that look like pink threads. Those are blood vessels, the tiny tubes that deliver blood to the sclera. See those little tiny red lines and blue lines you might see in people's eyes? Those are the blood vessels. Yeah. And they deliver blood to that sclera. The cornea is a transparent, that means you can't really see it, it's see-through like a window, dome, and it sits in front of the colored part of the eye. Let me show you where the cornea is. Boop, boop, boop. It's that clear kind of dome in the front of your eye. The cornea helps the eye focus as light makes its way through. It is a very important part of the eye, but you can hardly see it because it's made of clear tissue. Like clear glass, the cornea gives your eye a clear window to view through the world. The iris is the colorful part of your eye. It's where you have blue eyes or green eyes or red eyes. In this picture, it's the green spot. That's the iris. Yeah. Boop, boop. Behind the cornea are the iris, the pupil, and the anterior chamber. The iris is the colorful part of the eye. When we say a person has blue eyes or brown eyes or green eyes or hazel eyes, we really mean the person has blue or brown or green or hazel irises. The iris has muscles that attach to it to change its shape. This allows the iris to control how much light goes through the pupil. The pupil is like the black part. Let me see if we can get up here to that. Yeah, the pupil is like that. It's blue in this picture, but it's the black part. Boop, 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 boop. The pupil is the black circle in the center of the iris, which is really just an opening in the iris, and it lets light enter the eye. To see how this works, like I said, don't shine it in your eye, but you can use a small flashlight to shine near the person, and you can see how their eyes or the friend's eyes respond to a change in brightness. The pupils get smaller when the light's shining, and they open wider when the light's gone. A healthier way of doing it is just having a dark room where the light's out and immediately turn it on and watching your friend's eyes. The pupils are going to get smaller because the light goes on. The anterior chamber is the space between the cornea and the iris. The space is filled with a transparent fluid that nourishes the eye and keeps it healthy. You know what? We were going to talk more about the lenses and light and about muscles that make the eye work and rods and cones. The only thing I'm going to say about this is that the rods see in black and white and shades of gray and tells us about the shape of something. They can't see colors though. The cones are what sense colors, and they need the more light than the rods need so that they can see special color. They are most helpful in bright light or normal light, and the retina has 3 types of cones. Each cone type is sensitive to 3 colors, red, green, or blue, and all together is how they help you see all the millions of colors you know. And we can talk more about the rest of it, but the important part is that the optic nerve, let me find that picture of the optic nerve again, that's a really, really, really important part back here. See the nerve that goes back, that attaches, it's a cranial nerve that goes all the way back to your brain. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, 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 ba. Here we go. And that optic nerve is the messenger in the back of your eye. The rods and the cones of the retina change color and shapes that you see into millions of nerve messages. And then the optic nerve carries those messages from the eye back to the brain. The optic nerve sends a high-speed telephone line connection from the eye to the brain. And when you see an image, it's this optic nerve or this eye that telephones your brain and says, beep, beep, hello, you are seeing a dog. Hello, you are seeing a moon down here. And translate the report into cat, apple, bicycle, or what would this picture be that we translated? Moon, dun, da, da. Right, here's another why question. Are you ready? We're moving off of the eyes and we're going to, why is the moon called the moon? I mean, other planets' moons have great names, but ours is just moon. Why? Well, the origin of the moon's name is very interesting. Humans have been aware of this great white orb in the sky ever since they first roamed the earth. The moon's appearance changes as the months pass. It moves through phases from full moon to new moon. Have you guys gone out recently and seen the moon and seen what shape it's in now? Yeah, it's very interesting right now. Where did the word moon come from? The earth has just one moon. It's best known as the moon in the English-speaking world because people in ancient times used the moon to measure the passing of months. Moon is from the word mona, an Old English word from medieval times, which shares its origin with the Latin word metri, which means to measure, and mensis, which means month. So we see the moon is called moon because it is used to measure the months. Lots of N words, huh? So why do the moons around other planets have names? Well, when the moon was first named, people only knew about our moon. We didn't know about the other planets and all their other moons. That all changed, though, in the year 1610, when an Italian astronomer, Galileo Galilei, discovered what we now know are the 4 largest moons of Jupiter. This is Galileo right here. Yeah. Can you see him? There we go. Yeah. He discovered the 4 largest moons of Jupiter. Other astronomers across Europe discovered 5 moons around Saturn during the 1600s, and these objects became known as moons because they were close to their planets, just as our own moon is close to Earth. It's fair to say that other moons are named after our moon. But then once they named other moons, they couldn't just name them moons, so they decided to name them other names. And so many of these names came from Greek myths. The 4 large moons Galileo discovered around Jupiter were named Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. But you can learn about these Greek myth names, and you can study Jupiter and its 4 largest moons that Galileo discovered. Astronomers continue to find new moons orbiting other planets in our solar system, but Earth only has 1 moon. In October 2019, they announced they had newly discovered 20 moons around Saturn. But as of right now, all we know is that Earth only has 1 moon. And that is called the moon. Very simple. Simple-de dimple. All right, we're going to do some more dancing here, guys. I'm super excited about this. We are going to dance. Hey, with the scarf again. We're going to do some more actions with this scarf. Let's get our scarves back out. I'm going to make sure you can see my head. Okay, just up to the picture. Got it. We are going to try some different moves with the scarf. See, can we go up high? Whee! Can we go down low? Whee! Can we go in the middle? Yeah! Whoa! I dropped my scarf. Can we throw it up high too low? Ooh, that's a fun one. Can we throw it up and see if it falls on our heads? I did it. It worked. All right, let's see. Can you wiggle your scarf? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Can we toss our scarves? Whee! Ooh, oh, I dropped it. We can toss it and drop it. We can also toss it and try to catch it. Catch, catch. Maybe I can catch it with my foot. Woo, I did. Maybe I can catch it with my back. Woo, I did. What other body part can you catch your scarf with? Can you catch it with your elbow? Woo, nice. How about your knee? Nice, there you go. We did our wiggles. We did our tosses. We did our catches. We did our drops. Can we swish, 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 swish our scarves? Keep swishing your scarf. Can we go, are you ready? Fast! Swish, 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 up, down. Can we go up and down with our scarves? Up and down. Can we go side to side with our scarves? Can we go crisscross? Can we do that sagittal plane we talked about yesterday? Whoa, 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 whoa. I needed some room for that. Sorry, I had to step out of the picture so we could do that. All right, can we go slow with our scarves? My scarf got in a knot. Slowly, slowly, fast. Slowly, slowly, fast. Let's go average pace. Do-do, 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 do-do. Let's see if we can do zigzags. Zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag. Can we do zigzags this way, like the letter M? Zig, 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 zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag. Woo! Can we do circles with our scarves? Circle, circle, circle. Can we do circles? I'm going to have to make mine a little shorter so I don't hit things. Can we do circles above our heads with the scarf? Make sure to look around you. Make sure you don't whap anybody. You can make your scarf shorter. So like, see how long my scarf was? I just held the middle of it and then held the middle of that. And that's how I made it shorter to do this. Circle, circle. Boy, there's so many activities we can do with our scarves. Guess what we're going to do now? I'm super excited. So there is a piece of music by this composer, Edward Elgar. And he wrote this piece of music called The Wand of Youth. And suite number 1 in it, opus 1A, is, I guess it's suite 1, opus 1A 7.
is a musical piece called Faeries and Giants. So let's get our scarves out and we're going to dance with our scarves to the music Faeries and Giants by Edward Elgar. Now, pay careful attention to this song because when you think of fairies, what do you think of? Itty bitty things, right? And when you think of giants, what do you think of? Really big. And oftentimes in music and in movement too, when we think of big, we think of low. And when we think of little, we think of high. So listen in the music to where you hear low notes and where you hear high notes. And try to do that with your scarf. If you hear a low note, you can play low with your scarf. Oops, I lost a feather. Ta-da! And if you hear high notes, you can go high with your scarves. And remember, you can do all the moves we just did. We could do our ABCs. We could do circles. We can toss our scarves and catch it. We can toss it and let it drop. We can do zigzags. We can go up and downs and side to sides, all those movements with our scarf. So you guys have fun. We're going to listen to this song and we're going to dance to it. You don't have to follow me. You can do your own movements. I hear something high. Take a big bow after that one. I'm trying to stop it. There we go. Wow. Was that fun for you guys too? I really enjoyed dancing to that one. Do you think that sounded like Fairies and Giants? I like it. I think it sounded like Fairies and Giants. Did you guys learn any new moves with your scarves? Yeah, I figured out that I could swirl it with my foot. That was kind of fun. What new moves did you guys learn with your scarves? My wings are falling off. Whew. Whew. Well, In the interest of talking about fairies and giants, I thought we could finish reading this book, Wizard, that I started yesterday by Jody Bergsma. And if any of you are tuning in today on Wednesday, the 29th, and you didn't listen to Tuesday, the 28th, parents, you might want to go find that video, because that's where the first part of the book is. And I would feel bad if the kids have to try to figure out what's going on halfway through the book. So I started this book yesterday on Tuesday, the 28th, and now I'm going to finish it today on Wednesday, the 29th. And this is Wizard by Jody Bergsma. And remember, this little boy, his mom was sick, and so his dad said he needed to go off and get a vial of the water from the well. And let's see if I can get this book in this picture for you. There we go. And along the way, he found a cloak and met a dragon, and he brought his cat Tomas with him. And he went to the villages, and they all celebrated him. And then the next village tried to force him to say, how do I know you're a wizard? Prove it. And then he made everybody dance, and they were all happy dancing, so he escaped. Still trembling, Kevin and Tomas rejoined Greystone and the pony. Fearful of being captured, the travelers slipped away through the forest. Emerging on the third day, they could see the golden towers of the Queen's castle in the early morning sunlight. I must go no further, the dragon announced. Remember, young master, thou art what thou believest thyself to be. Then he vanished before their eyes. Kevin bravely approached the gate, and a guard barked, Who goes there? Summoning his courage, the boy declared, It is I, Kevin the wizard, with Tomas the cat. We have come to see the Queen. The door creaked open, and they entered. As their pony was led away, the travelers were taken before the royal advisors. You boy, you dare call yourself a wizard? Scorned the chief advisor. Yes, Kevin answered bravely. Looking the boy over from head to toe, another advisor growled, Then I suppose you must be taken to the wizard's hall, as the Queen has ordered. Kevin and Tomas were led down a long, winding hallway to a room filled with very old wizards. Can you see both pages? There we go. Oh no, Kevin thought, as he slinked to the back of the room. Now they'll surely discover who I am. An ancient wizard was speaking at the front of the hall. As you know, he cautioned, Queen Ariana has recently ascended to the throne. The kingdom is in such turmoil that the royal advisors do not believe she is strong enough to rule. So the Queen has summoned us here for advice. We must be very careful in what we say, however, for if our words fall short, we may spend the rest of our days in exile. Ding, ling, 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 ling. A bell rang, and a secret passage opened, revealing the royal throne room. The wizards filed in, Kevin trailing behind with Tomas hidden in his cloak. As trumpets blared, brr, brr, the heralds proclaimed, All hail the Queen! Everyone bowed except Kevin, who peeked to see a beautiful young girl enter the room and approach the great dragon throne. With a worried voice, the Queen addressed the gathering. Clearly, things have not gone well for Lugan since my parents died and wizards were banished from the royal city. But now I have come of age, and responsibility for the kingdom is mine. What wisdom can you offer to help bring power to my rule? One by one, the wizards came forward. Fearful of angering the court, they chose their words very carefully. Queen Ariana listened, but never smiled, waving each one away. After all the old wizards had spoken, the disappointed queen scanned the room. Is there no one else? She asked. Kevin was crouching in the back to avoid being seen when a small gray mouse skittered across the floor. Suddenly, Tomas leapt from under Kevin's cloak, and the boy blurted out, Come back here! Everyone turned toward him, including Queen Ariana. Step forward, young wizard, she commanded. I have not yet heard from you. Kevin felt trapped. His mind went blank, and his heart raced as the wizards pushed him toward the throne. Hail, beautiful queen, Kevin stammered, trying to gather his thoughts. Suddenly, the glowing eyes of the throne dragons caught his attention, and all the teachings of Greystone crystallized in Kevin's mind. If you remember from yesterday, Greystone was his dragon that he met. Your Majesty, there is something I would add to the wizard's wise counsel, he humbly continued. You and I are both young, and we have many lessons yet to learn. But this is one thing I know.
To accomplish anything, you must first have a vision, and then believe it to be possible. For I have found that for me to be strong, I had to trust the power within me. Kevin paused to take a deep breath. You are the kingdom, and the kingdom is you. You must believe in yourself and your purpose, or you will not succeed. A loud gasp filled the room, and the faces of the wizards went white. The guards stepped forward to seize the outspoken boy, but Queen Ariana raised her hand. Kevin looked up, expecting anger. Instead, a smile of understanding began to light up the queen's face. She stood to speak. This young wizard has been brave enough to tell me what no one else would. He believes in himself, and that is something I had forgotten. His honesty is needed, and his counsel I will accept. With sighs of relief, the audience ended, and everyone began to leave. A troubled Kevin approached the ancient wizard in the hallway and bowed his head. I must confess something, he said. But the sage interrupted. I know what you want to tell me, he smiled. That you found the cloak by accident, and you are not a real wizard. Kevin fell back astonished. You know about the cloak? How do you think I acquired mine? The old one chuckled. You see, for every wizard it is the same. Each one begins a quest, and along the way finds a cloak. But choosing to put it on and following the path that unfolds is not easy. Wearing Destiny's cloak requires bravery and commitment. By your courage, you have proven your worthiness to be a wizard, as did your great-grandfather. With a twinkle in his eyes, the ancient wizard turned and walked away. With renewed confidence, Kevin returned to the throne room and approached the queen. Your Majesty, I would be honored to enter your service as you have requested, but something weighs on my heart. My mother lies gravely ill, and only water from your well can save her. I would be most pleased to grant your request, Queen Ariana sighed. But alas, the well was magically sealed when the sacred fire died, after dragons were banished from the land. Come, I will show you. A small group, including the royal advisors, gathered around the darkened well. A little wizard closed his eyes and listened for the voice within. Then he began to circle the well, chanting the words that echoed in his mind. Light, fire, light, open wide this well. Come, fire, come, break the darkness spell. Light, fire, light, open wide this well. Come, fire, come, break the darkness spell. Light, fire, light, open wide this well. Come, fire, come, break the darkness spell. A hiss, a crackle, and then a great trembling came from the earth. Amidst a burst of flames, the ancient cover flew open. Out of the smoky haze came a familiar voice, and Greystone stepped forward. Thou hast called, and the well hath opened. For so long as dragon fire is respected, this flame shall brightly burn. Still chasing the mouse, Tomas came bounding out of the smoke and tumbled into Kevin and Greystone. Seeing the three sprawled together at her feet, the queen laughed, and with the sound of her happy laughter, water sprung forth from the well. As Kevin filled his vial with the sacred water, the royal advisors skulked away. Queen Ariana then decreed that dragons and wizards would once again be welcome throughout the land. The young wizard prepared for another journey, this time accompanied by the royal guards. After traveling at great speed to his home, Kevin hurried to his mother's side and gave her the vial of healing water. She soon recovered, and with grateful hearts they all returned to the royal city, where Kevin was knighted and became the queen's most trusted advisor. So, if thou shalt find one winter's morn, Destiny's cloak, and it be worn, be not surprised should you achieve a wizard's life, if you believe. Dun, da, da, da. And that's the end. Wasn't that a great story? You know what I find very interesting about this story? We started it yesterday because it was a story about traveling, and T was for traveling and transportation. But I love that it was finished today on Wednesday when we were asking our questions why. Because the little boy, the little wizard, couldn't understand how he could be, which is another question, a wizard. And one of the big lessons he learned is he had to believe in himself first. And I think that's such an important thing to remember.
about anything that you want to do, especially when we're wearing our uniforms now and thinking about maybe some jobs we want to be when we get older, and things we want to do in this world. And to remember, we must believe that we can do it. And then, if we keep believing, there are people who are going to say we can't, but if we keep believing, we might be able to, and we most likely will be able to. The other thing that's important about this book's timing that I think is so cool is that today is the 29th, tomorrow is the 30th, and then after the 30th April comes May 1st. May 1st is a pagan holiday called Beltane, where we celebrate the beginnings of summer and the height of spring, the beginning of summer, and we celebrate new things coming into life, plants blooming, baby animals coming into this world, lots of love in this world, love and appreciation for all the things we have. And one of the big things they do on the night of the 30th in this tradition is they light a Beltane fire. And they talk about crossing over from our old perspectives, and they used to jump the fire, but they made it really small and make sure it's safe. But they also like do a symbol of like pretending to jump near the fire and go from the old to the new, and the new things that we believe now, and the new things that we know are possible, which is kind of cool because in this story, he made the fire happen, right? Because he believed in it and he channeled some old stuff that he knew, and it became a belief, and it turned into the new fire, which turned into the new water, which is so cool because water gives life. Yeah, take a good sip of water today. It's good for you. Anyway, that's just some talking I have. I hope you guys enjoyed these books that we did today. I guess we could sing one song before we go. We can sing the Tell Me Why song. Tell me why the ivy twines. Tell me why. Oops. I forgot the song. Oh, I forgot it. There we go. Now I remember. Tank, you want to come over? Here we go. Stars do shine first. Tell me why the stars do shine. Tell me why the ivy twines. Tell me why the sky is blue. Tell me why I love you. Because the stars were made to shine. Because the ivy was made to twine. Because the sky was made so blue. Because you're my child, that's why I love you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Keep asking lots of why questions and discovering how to find the answers, and always believe in yourself and your dreams. Have a great, lovely day. Bye.